Now we have our Java desktop, but let's say we want to make changes to the user interface other than what the properties are. So there's properties to set the colors and the sizes and the fonts, but what if we want something more fundamental? Well, luckily Java supports all of this through something called a Java look and feel. And you can build different looks and feels and can be applied to a Java program with just a couple lines of code. So notice here in this one that the buttons are kind of square. They're 90-degree angles on the edge. So there is another look and feel, which I'll show you, and it is called Nimbus. So if I wanted to implement the Nimbus look and feel, the first thing I do is go into the main class that is the same name as the application. And at the top, I need to do an import javax.swing.ui manager. And then each look and feel gives you a little bit of code. It's always the same code, except this one piece in the middle is a little different. And the very first step of my main method, I just want to put the code in. And this is the same code. The only thing that's different is this, the name of the look and feel. And the look and feel comes with all of the graphics and code in one or more jar files. So I right click on my project and go to Properties and Library, and I want to add a jar, and you navigate to wherever you've downloaded the Nimbus look and feel, and in this case there's just one jar. And now I'm going to compile and run. And you can build your own look and feel if you are good with designing stuff and if you're good with graphics, or you can find free ones or paid ones on the web. Notice here the button has rounded edges. That's a characteristic of the Nimbus look and feel. And there's kind of a shadow on the button, and I'm going to click the button. I'll get an error because I didn't fill in the fields, but see how the color of the button changes? It's different than the basic Java swing. And years ago, someone created this as a joke. And the joke has kind of stayed around, and that is that someone created a Java look and feel called Napkin, and it is supposed to look as if someone had drawn the user interface on a napkin. So I'm sure you've been to a business meeting and you had to sketch something out, and you pulled out a napkin from Starbucks or whatever, and you sketched it out there. So the napkin look and feel looks as if it was sketched on a napkin. And there's 3 jars you add, and the code is the same, except for you got to know what this class is. And I will compile it and I will run it. And this is the napkin look and feel. So weight of 5, and you notice the screen looks as if it was length of 10. Health is great. It looks as if it was sketched out on a napkin. Diamondback, Deep Creek Lake. I don't know if my database is turned on, so maybe I'll get an error if I didn't turn on my database, but you can see how it looks. So it's kind of neat and gives you literally unlimited flexibility on the user interface of a Java Swing application by getting different looks and feel. And you can search on the web for Java look and feel, and you can find a variety of them. Most of them are professional. This one is more of a joke. But that is how you can implement a Java look and feel to get even more control over the user interface.